The big thing we've all been waiting for with Volkswagen's proposed Formula One entries for Porsche and Audi is something official, something in writing, some paperwork. Well, now we have it. I hold in my hand paperwork that tells us what's going on, at least on the Porsche side, and their plans to take a 50% stake in Red Bull Technologies. But as you can see, this is not a Red Bull Racing nor a Porsche press release. So what is it? And to help me answer that question and delve into what's going on here are Scott Mitchell and Ed Straw joining me, Glenn Freeman. Scott, I'll come to you first. Quite simply, what does this paperwork detail? What is it? And so what do we know now about Red Bull and Porsche?
Well, the paperwork's in your hand, Glenn, so I think it's a bit lazy that you're asking me to explain it. But it is effectively a document that has been published in Morocco, of all places, in their competitions and mergers council. It's got a real name in French, but I won't do the language a disservice by saying it in full here. And basically what it is an outline of the main details of a proposed merger between Porsche and Red Bull. That's the terminology being used here. And the reason for that is because these are two enormous organisations, there's a whole load of competition laws that have to be respected, and then these sort of things need to be filed in various countries. There will be loads more other than Morocco that has this. It just so happens that we've managed to get hold of the document that has been published by this Moroccan authority. So what this document outlines, two key things. The first is along the lines of what we've been expecting all along, that Porsche and Red Bull want to work together, a joint venture to build a powertrain, an F1 power unit. And we know this is the 2026 engine project. It will be mainly Red Bull. Porsche will lend some funding to it, but they don't have the technological capacity to build an engine. So that's Red Bull powertrains. We've known that for a while, but obviously this is just a little bit of good to have it in writing. But the second thing is really, really interesting, which is that it outlines the proposed interest that Porsche has in buying a 50% stake in Red Bull Technology, which is the company that Red Bull Racing is the Formula One team. Red Bull Technologies is the one that actually builds the chassis. So it shows that Porsche actually has far more interest than just having a glorified engine branding deal. It wants actually to own a stake in an F1 entity. It's nothing to do with AlphaTauri. This is specifically to Red Bull. It's a hugely interesting detail to have come about this way, but it basically just shows us once and for all exactly how serious Porsche is about this Red Bull project.
Yeah, we should say credit to German outlet Motorsport Total for being the first place we're aware of that found this, and then sent the rest of us on a hunt to locate it ourselves. Ed, I think Scott's outlined there the significance of this. Porsche taking a 50% stake in Red Bull's ultimately overarching Formula One company. This is huge, but does this give us a sign that perhaps Red Bull is looking at an exit strategy in Formula One?
It's certainly a future, a next generation, if you like, for the team. Obviously, from the Red Bull perspective, Dietrich Mateschitz, who co-founded Red Bull way back in 1984, he's very much been the driving force of its motorsport involvement, and particularly the Formula One team. He's 78 now, and there has been talked in kind of hushed tones of what the future for this team would look like when maybe he's less involved. So to an extent, it maybe future-proofs the team. And from Red Bull's perspective, it's just the ideal partner, isn't it? It's Porsche. It's one of the biggest names in terms of performance cars, a great motorsport name. So it's perfect for them. And obviously, Red Bull has been looking for this sort of thing to happen for some time. The whole Powertrains project created the opportunity to partner up with a manufacturer, taking control of creating the facilities they needed, the specialised dynos, the kit, the personnel, because Porsche won't be providing that. So for Red Bull, the plan has really, really come together. So I think it's less about an exit and more about just finding a newer path for the long-term future. And Porsche's the perfect partner. And from Porsche's perspective, Red Bull's the perfect partner because it's going to be owning part of the organisation that has been one of the preeminent Formula One teams of the past 15 years.
Yeah, and I think we can probably trace some of this back to when Red Bull fell out with Renault, because Red Bull as an independent racing team, has always felt too beholden to whichever engine supplier it can get hold of. It lost Honda just as it won a world championship. So this now gives it that manufacturer that can effectively come in-house with it. But let's keep on the subject of manufacturers then. We've got Porsche, which we now know intends to take a 50% stake in Red Bull. We think Audi is heading towards a majority stake in Sauber. I'll put this to both of you, but first to you, Scott. How significant is this for Formula One and F1's future, that these two massive brands that it's never been able to attract properly in the 21st century are not only are they coming in, but they're coming in such a significant way?
Yeah, it's massive. I'm sure that the likes of Stefano Domenicali, Ross Brawn, and guys on the FIA side as well are going to see this as a huge justification for the effort that's gone in with the 2026 power unit regulations, but also other changes within Formula One. The budget cap, for example, it is the whole point of the new engine regulations was to encourage new manufacturers, and very, very early on, the Volkswagen Group brands were the ones that were targeted. And I know what it's been like whenever we've done a video on this or stories on this. Like you just don't really want to believe it until we've got this bit of paperwork, because it's Porsche and Audi. They've been rumoured to join for so long. I mean, one thing we should stress is that the engine regulations for 26 still haven't been 100% finalised, and until that happens, there won't be any rubber stamping of a Porsche or Audi project. The Volkswagen Group needs that to be over the line before they can actually give the go ahead. But that is imminent. I'm expecting that early in August. There hasn't been a vote yet on the 26 regs, but they will come soon. We've known for a while that the existing manufacturers have been willing to drop the MGUH to simplify the power units, make them a bit less expensive and complicated. That was key to bringing in the likes of Porsche and Audi. We're so close to this getting over the line now. It's been a really long, drawn-out process. It's missed basically every deadline that's been set officially and unofficially for this, but it's nearly there, and it's going to be so rewarding for Formula One and the FIA when that is over the line and we get formal confirmation of these Porsche and the Audi projects as well.
It's one of those things that it's very easy to criticise Formula One, particularly with something as emotive as engines. Some people would argue they should go back to old-style engine technology, but Formula One has treaded a really fine line here, creating an engine package that fits in with the wider automotive world, so more potent hybrid, and crucially, the synthetic sustainable fuels that are coming in. And that's really important for Porsche, because Porsche, in the wider sense, is heavily investing in that kind of thing as well. So the plan really has come together for Formula One. So it's partly to their credit that this has worked for them in terms of landing a couple of big beast manufacturers. Okay, Audi and Porsche are very much in the same family, but they would have absolutely bitten your hand off if during the process of creating these rules they were told this will happen. So the plans come together for F1, the plans come together for Red Bull, the plan seems to be coming together for Porsche as well. So if this all goes ahead as expected, it's a triumph for absolutely everyone involved.